magnetically, and that's all it does. It just basically floods the room.
Basically,
full of
the
heat.
room with
You
a
need to
magnetic
send a
field.
text message while you stood outside of it so that people can see that your phone actually alters the results of
Yeah.
That's the
as
one
well.
biggest thing we have, kind of thing, isn't it? We are a group. As soon as we even start an investigation, every phone gets turned off or is put onto airplane mode. Just because we've been on like so many, you see so many stuff on TV where they're using like Ghost Hunters, where they're using apps and stuff like that. But if your phone is active, it's kicking out a signal anyway, so you're kind of picking that up anyway, so it's kind of defying the point anyway, to be fair.
But the reason why I like the EMF pump as well is because on one of the only few times that we've actually remembered to take it with us and actually use it is because best ever EPV. It were just amazing, so that's why that's my favourite bit. I'm putting it down to that is the reason why we got such a clear EPV. It used that energy.
But that's also on his website, isn't it?
Yeah.
When
It is,
It's the
I'm
little
not
girls.
ready yet.
I'm not ready yet, yeah.
And it actually drained, the time we used it, I left it on and it drained the battery that I had in it, but it was only a cheap battery anyway. And then after we turned it, after I picked it up and put it back into a box, it was after that then we got the EVP, weren't it?
So the theory is you cause a homemade magnetic field
to feed
whatever's there enough to be able to either make itself present or to communicate with us. And you know, we've seen it used on Ghost Lab, I think it was.
Ghost Lab did it, didn't they?
Ghost Lab did it, and they got quite a lot of activity for it, which is the reason why we decided to make a zone, and we think it works.
So what's yours, Connor?
I think my favourite would be the Melmeter with the aerial, just because you've got everything in one, you don't have to mess about with lots of different stuff. You can use it for K2, you can use it for Melmeter and temperature and stuff like that. It just saves carrying loads of stuff.
See, I do like the RTVP because of obviously you've got like your voice recorder and your Frank's box all in one. And we use that quite a bit, don't we? I mean,
We do.
We'll have that running pretty much most of an investigation, and I mean we've just added to it with the analog tapes to see if that makes any difference.
And your GoPro, don't forget your
Right,
GoPro.
GoPro, which is what we're filming on.
I would say we've got plenty of cameras now. We've got stacks of
Jamie's
cameras.
got 4 by his and I think.
Yeah, and we've got video cameras, we've got night vision cameras, we've got
CCTV
GoPro,
cameras.
we've got digital SLRs. It's all singing, all dancing.
We only use certain stuff though for certain things, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, we've only used DVR setup for when we did
personal house investigations.
When it was just a case of leave it going and just catch what we could really.
Yeah.
But
photography wise, we don't necessarily get much.
We got a belting picture once, but it got
it was a reflection.
The
wasn't it?
reflection.
Yeah.
what?
It was that reflection of that dog's face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That were a good
That
one.
were pretty cool. That, and I'm absolutely
got
gutted that
something.
his phone went.
Yeah.
We got
Because there were
something.
no dogs, were there?
No.
At
Well,
all.
we got something we couldn't explain at Hoover Stand, didn't we? And we went back and tried to.
Yeah.
We got back and tried to debunk it, and we couldn't recreate it.
See, that's kind of where we differ with most groups, and if we get evidence, we will go over our own evidence and go back to the location and try to debunk it.
Try to recreate it so that we can say, oh, that's the reason why.
Yeah.
It's like that whole little girl's voice when it went, I'm not ready. There was no way. There was 4 of us there, and there was no one in that area. There was no way that
What's
happened.
that with his mouth?
Shut.
We weren't. Yeah.
I mean, on photography side of things as well, we got a good one at Cadeby, didn't we?
Yeah.
After
We
9
got-
o'clock,
We got a really weird one at Cadeby,
That.
didn't we?
What?
The Cape
Photograph wise.
I was walking backwards out, weren't I? And I was taking pictures,
Yeah.
and it suddenly came up. Yeah.
And then there was another one, so there were
We
Hoover.
got a laugh, didn't we, as well on EVP on that same thing. I mean, we went to Cadeby Tunnel probably about 7 times, haven't we? And the previous times we've always been, we never ever got anything. And then on this one time, we got a strange picture on the way out, which looks like something manifested as we were walking out, and I took a picture of it. I think it's on our site anyway, isn't it? And then we got a giggle, didn't we? A little girl's giggle when we were doing Ring a Ring of Roses.
Yeah, that's the only thing that we try to do, because it's supposed to be haunted by a little girl, young spirits. We decided to play Ring a Ring of Roses inside a tunnel. You know, just because obviously if it's a little girl spirit, we thought, let's do something that maybe it can join in.
Even makes Jess giggle, so it's bound to make something else giggle, and that's what we got. We got the giggle from something, so it did what it needed to do.
Weird things.
And we never ever
stood in the middle of a tunnel doing Ring a Ring of Roses.
Pitch black. We had all lights off as well.
If you remember as well, that particular night, we never ever used to get any K2.
And we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
In Cambridge.
Yeah.
It's so barren for any sort of magnetic field, and we got one spike. It was one spike, and then that were it.
Was that the night that light kept flashing on and off as well? Or was that other tunnel?
That was Thurgoland.
That was
Thurgoland.
Because we went to when we did KB last. We did KB last and put up motion sensors, didn't we? And then people turned up, so we kind of called it a night and decided to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
Tell you what else we found as well. People asking for help. Houses they feel that they're haunted. We don't. When we've done private houses, people think there's something wrong with their house, or they're basically scared and things like that. And sometimes we just show them that it's high magnetic field because we've got dodgy electrics and
High
dodgy
sensitivity to it, isn't it?
Yeah, some people. I'm not saying hallucinate, but an high
It's the
magnetic
mind
field
playing
can
tricks.
plays tricks on them. Yeah.
It's like the whole Stocks Bridge, though, isn't it? Really.
It's exactly the same, isn't it?
Yeah, like Stocks Bridge has obviously a big reputation for monks and whatnot. But if you take a K2 meter and you travel down the A616 or whatever it is a constant 3 or a 4 on the K2 meter as you go down that road anyway. So you're being bombarded with
IMF.
all the way down. So it could be a factor.
It's night time. You're usually travelling tired. High magnetic field. You know.
See, the possibility is
you've already heard of the monk. You've already heard of the girls and whatever that's supposed to be on there. So.
I mean, obviously there's a chance that it could be, but I don't know.
So what's your favourite investigation that we've done?
Mine has to be,
Sheffield General.
yeah, probably Sheffield General, just because when the first time we ever went and we went to do it, I scared everyone, didn't I?
And yourself.
Yeah.
And yourself.
The thing is, I think to a certain degree, it was a scary location to look at.
We got there at night though, didn't we?
Because you're in a strange place and you don't know the area and you don't know people in that area. I think it heightened you as well, which made it more scary.
Yeah. See, it's like it don't really.
Because the second time we went back, none of us were that scared,
No.
were we?
I've got quite a few that I've really enjoyed though for certain reasons.
I don't do tunnels.
One of my favourites is because I think it's best investigation we ever did was the 3-story house.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favourite.
Because it was
Without
equal,
doubt.
weren't it, for like the paranormal,
It
the
was
science side,
paranormal, the science side,
and the
medium
mediumship.
side.
The mediumship
Everything.
side were
Got a
amazing.
bit of everything.
And then it was backed up with science.
Yeah.
And there was so much going off. We got photo of a face in a window. You know,
Everything we got that night though was backed up with obviously the science side of stuff, like the EVPs and stuff like that. It kind of
it's
just
just
what we kind of go on though, isn't it? It's like everyone can have a feeling going, oh, this house is haunted, or oh, I don't like this tunnel, and we do it occasionally. Like we'll go into a location and be like, oh, I don't like the feel.
Let's
of this
just
place.
face it. The 3-story house was riddled.
Yeah.
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 It was riddled.
It
It was absolutely amazing.